In this session, I'm going to show how to properly create a zap between your Facebook lead ads over to your CRM. Now, why would you want to do that? I had another video where I showed where to access your leads inside of Facebook in your Facebook page if you do a Facebook ad using lead forms. But that's a manual process. And as a realtor investor, you don't want to miss a lead. So instead of having to log into Facebook each time and say, what lead do I have? What's their phone number, email? You'd rather have that shot over to your CRM so that you get an immediate alert and you can start following up with that buyer or seller. So let's dive into Zapier and let me show you how easy it is to create your integration between the lead form in Facebook and your CRM. In this example, I'm going to be using my KV Core. In Zapier, you're going to say make a zap. So that's the first button you're going to click. The very top, it's going to say name your zap. So I'm going to say Facebook buyer leads to KV Core. Right here, I'll name what the zap's doing. It's a good idea to name the zap because in Zapier, you may have, in my case, I have 13 different zaps in my account, automating my entire business. So you want to know which zap's doing what. What we're going to do here is the starting step, the trigger event that's going to kick off the zap is when a lead comes in from an ad. So somebody's seeing their Facebook ad, they click learn more, a form pops up, it verifies their email and phone number, and then it takes them to the next step. When they get that phone number and email, that's going to be a lead inside of Facebook, and that's going to be the trigger event that's going to send it over to the CRM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start typing in Facebook, and right here you see Facebook lead ads. You also see it's a premium. That just means that you have to have a paid account of Zapier in order to use this zap. There's a few that are in there. Custom audiences is another one. So I highly recommend you upgrade to the paid account of Zapier because it's going to change your life as a realtor investor and automating a lot of your business for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Facebook lead ad. The trigger event is there's only one, and that's when a new lead comes in. So when they click on the Facebook ad, they click a lead will come in, and then I'll hit continue. You're going to need to connect to your Facebook account. So I'll have Sharon log in. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask me for the page. So in this case, I'll add the page that I want to use. So I'll use the smart page here. And then I'm going to pick what form I want. So in another video, I show you how to create these lead forms. So make sure you follow those videos and get your lead forms created in Facebook. So when we move into the advertising portion of the course, you'll be all set to start really killing it on advertising. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rent to own form, which is one of many of my forms I use in my advertising plays. So we're going to take that form, which has the lead, and I'm going to hit continue. And lastly, it'll say test, do a test. So if there's leads out there, it'll show you the lead and then hit continue. So I've just completed the first step. And if it was done correctly, you'll have a little check box at the very top. That's the trigger event. And then you're going to tell Zapier, what am I doing when that event happens? We're going to trigger an action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use KV Core. So I'll do KV Core, and that's by invite. Go ahead and watch my video of setting up KV Core in here. The trigger event for KV Core is to create a contact. So we have a new lead. We're going to create a contact in KV Core. We're going to want to select the KV Core account. Click OK. And now what we're going to do is we're going to map the fields. So inside of Facebook, when you saw my training on how to create lead forms, the fields that I've asked you to put in those forms are one field for first name, one for last name, one for phone, and one for email. So in this case, now I can easily map them into my CRM because my CRM does want a first and last name. The lead type is going to be a buyer, a renter, or what have you. In this case, it'll be a renter down here for my rent to own. And then I have my last name field, so I'll go ahead and put the last name in. And then what I can do is I can look at my email. So I can go down to all options and start typing in email. And there's the person's email address. And then I'll come down and I'll hit all options again, and I'll start typing in phone. And there's their phone number. So basically, that's what Facebook's getting for you. You're getting the first name, last name, email, and phone number. So that's really all I need to map over to my CRM. If I want to put a note in here, I'll call it a Facebook lead ad. Lead ad Read my note so I know where it came from. Over here, if you have tags that you use in your CRM, you could tag them here. So if I have a tag for renters, I'll put that tag in here. And then I also, in my Zaps, I always put in the source. So I'm going to say this was from the ProEdge chatbot right here under source. So in my CRM, I know the chatbot, we ran an ad, the form popped up, and then we took them into the chatbot, and the chatbot started nurturing. So I want to know that this lead is from the chatbot versus other organic ways to get leads. And then finally, in your lead status, this is in your CRM. So in mine, I call it a new lead when it comes in. So that's the status of the lead. So based on your CRM, make sure you update the fields appropriately and hit continue. And then down here, there's a test. I'll hit test and continue and turn on my Zap. Make sure your Zaps are turned on. If there was a problem, it would show you the problem, and you'll go ahead and fix it over in here. But right now, I have a clean Zap, and that Zap will be right here, and you'll see it's turned on right here in Zapier. So go ahead and set up your Facebook lead forms first. Follow those videos. Get your lead forms in your business page set up. Then come into Zapier and set up a Zap for each one of those lead forms. So following my training, you should have one for buyers, one for sellers, one for renters. You may want one for an ebook, different types of ads that we're doing. And in my training course, you'll see different strategies I use to get people into the chatbot and bring leads to you. So get your zapping going.